Live from the Export Beer Garden studio and brought to you as always by Export Ultra, the beer for here. This is the Agenda podcast for the 6th of September.
The Agenda Podcast, the home of sporting nonsense and claptrap. Brought to you by Export Ultra.
And it is our great pleasure to welcome into the studio David Nyika. G'day David, how you going, mate?
Good to be here, bro. Thanks for having me.
That's a story. Whirlwind week, whirlwind few days for you, hasn't it been? When did you first find out that old mate was not going to be able to fight?
Well, the positive test came about like 5 weeks ago, last end of July. So it's actually been a long time, but we were trying to make the fight still happen. I still wanted to fight Blake.
Yeah.
But now that we've got this new guy, Tommy Karpency, he's actually a better body to fight, if you know what I mean. Like, he won't be as negative. When I say negative, it's just like when you're not trying to win a fight, but survive or
is that his style? Just try and survive?
Not so much survive, but like
just get in close quarters and a lot of hugging.
No, it's more leaning away and down and away, and it's like I would be trying to make the fight happen for everybody in the crowd, you know, and he would be trying to stop me from doing anything I wanted to do. So it's me and Blake would have been. I tell you what, it could have been lackluster, especially after 4 heavyweight fights on the undercard. Yeah, we got four heavyweight fights in a row, which are going to be sick.
Yeah. Oh man. But, so how much has it affected your preparation though? Because obviously it got announced in the media. You said end of July, so you probably had a bit of time, but you didn't know your new opponent till how long ago?
48 hours, I think.
Yeah, right. Does that change your preparation? I mean, do you have to do a bit of research around, like, because you're saying they're different types of fighters? How does that affect? Is that like that? So to me, I'd shit my pants. I'd be like, "Fuck, it's a new fucking time. I've trained for this other guy, and now I've got this fucking other rooster coming in."
I guess boxing is the kind of sport you need to be able to adapt on the spot anyway. So I've got 5 or 6 different modes in terms of like how I fight. So it doesn't change that much. He's still a southpaw, so he's still left-handed.
Yeah.
He's got a similar record, similar experience. He's fought 3 former world champions and he's beaten one of them. So he's succeeded where Blake Caparello failed, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So he's very credible. This fight will get me into the top 15 in the WBO. I'm already top 15 in the IBF, but it might put me up a couple places. So it's a big step towards snatching one of those titles, if you know what I mean.
I don't want to jump too far down the track, but if and when you get down the end here and you're fighting for the WBO, the IBF, the ABCs, the TCs and Ts and the BGs and all that.
The ACCs.
The ACC belt. We need to bring up the ACC
we'll bring that belt out. You can hold that immediately.
when you win all of these, can you just melt them down into one belt? Because it's so confusing to follow all of the different boxing organisations, isn't it?
Well, there are 4 major belts. There's the IBF, WBO, WBA, and WBC. So at the moment, we're looking at the first 2, the IBF and the WBO.
Right.
To be unified, to be the undisputed world champion, is to have all the belts. So in some ways it's good. In some ways it's a bit confusing for the
layman,
for the casuals, you know. Yeah. But a world champion's a world champion, and to be able to fight the other world champions is that's awesome. That's incredible. Like you've got the UFC now. You've got but you've also got those other bodies where you've got some murderers out there that are just as good as the other guys. You know, like I can't even.
PFL, the Pro Fighting League. Then there's the One Championship.
They're
I think
coming
the
up.
other one as well.
I think PFL. I think they might be coming along. They might be getting that Saudi money.
Yeah. Where's that Saudi money for podcasting? We've been talking about that.
We've been calling for that for a long time. Like if they want to wash their money by sponsoring podcasts, we'd be happily the first. There's a lot of boxing over in Saudi. Have you been over there?
Yes. Yeah. I fought on the Fury Usyk undercard.
Yes.
So that was kind of my first big test against another undefeated prospect. And hoping to get back over there in December for the rematch for the Usyk Fury 2.
What's the crowd like at one of those things? Like
it was a little bit quieter when I got in. It was a little bit earlier.
Really?
I think it was like a 9-hour card. I think.
Jesus.
It was a long night. So by the time Fury and Usyk came out, it was 3:30 in the morning. Kendrick Lamar's up on this platform, going crazy, and everyone's like struggling to keep their eyes open, like, please get off, we want to watch this fight.
Because they're not drinking, are they?
Yeah, The British fans, I think they all got on it at the embassy. I think they found a loophole, so they drank there and went across. But so it was pretty rowdy. It was pretty rowdy for the main event, especially. Yeah, so the crowd was awesome, and I got like a nice ovation when I got out the ring and stuff. So people were very, very respectful over there. It's an amazing place. Yeah, amazing place.
I was in Abu Dhabi. I worked there for a while, and they put a UFC fight on there. And all of the front row, about 3 rows back, were all locals in their pristine white dish dashes. Yeah. And so they're all sitting there, and they love a bit of combat fighting. And but there was blood flying out of that ring. I looked over one guy, and they had blood splattered all over their dish dashes. And I was like,
they would love that, man. They would love that.
It was sick. I was just like, oh my God, I don't think I've seen anything like it. But it was good times. Hey, just touching on before you said, like, confusing for the layperson in terms of the casual fan. Can you talk me through the different divisions? Because, like, obviously the most famous is the heavyweights. You know, it's Tyson's, it's George Foreman, all that. You know, they'd probably get the most limelight. So you've got that. That's the top. That's the heavyweights. There's no super heavyweights in there. That's more
not yet.
It's just heavyweights. It's just open grade, whatever. Yep. And then the other probably most famous division is the kind of Floyd Mayweather
welterweight.
Yeah, the welterweight. Yeah. So can you explain all the divisions and where you are and what is your goal to go up a division? Is it what is it?
So it's a little bit unfair in some ways. So there are, I think, maybe 14 divisions, and they start right down at like 49 kilos or something.
Yeah.
And the next division up is 2 kilos heavier. Then it's 2 kilos heavier above that. Then 3 kilos. Then 4 kilos heavier.
Yeah.
But by the time you get up from light heavyweight is 79 point something kilos, right? So let's say 79 kilos.
Yeah.
The next division up, my division, cruiserweight, is 90.7 kilos.
That's a big difference.
It's a big jump. It's 175 pounds up to 200 pounds. That's a big difference. So when I made that transition, I tried to put on all the muscle I could to fill out that division, and it really didn't do me any favors for about 3 or 4 years. Right. So it's a big jump, and anything above that is heavyweight. So technically, right now I'm a heavyweight. I'm walking around at about 94 kilos. So my weight's come down since the start of camp, but I walk around as a heavyweight, like 98 kilos kind of thing. So I think I see 3 heavyweights here today.
Oh yeah. Hell yeah. I'm thinking more super heavyweight.
Yeah.
Wait, what's the heavyweight? What's the what's your
200? It's the 200 pound limit, so 90.7 kilos.
Yeah,
which is not actually that big nowadays, So
I didn't think so either, David. You did right.
But anything above that weight, you're not going to get any more. You're not going to get faster. You're not going to get fitter. Right. You will get more power. Right. That's one thing that you get significantly more of. You get more power. But I feel like the cruiserweight division, you get some really, really athletic fighters that have the conditioning, have the power. It's kind of the best of both worlds, Like I run a hour 22 half marathon, so it's like sub 4 minute Ks. That's quick for anyone.
Very quick,
that's quick for anyone.
Shit, yeah.
So you've like at this division, you've got athletes that can be endurance athletes, but also produce spectacular knockouts. And I guess in the pro game, the gloves are only designed to protect your hands, not your opponent's faces. So you get a lot more knockouts anyway. But for the most part, that heavyweight division is power. Power is king.
Are you quite tall for your weight class? So you're quite a tall dude.
I think I'm about right, but I think I've got a frame that could easily move up to heavyweight. Like Joseph Parker is about 6'4". He says he's 6'4". He's about 6'2".
Yeah, I was thinking that.
I'm 6'4". Tyson Fury's a real 6'9". He's real 6'9". Like you see him next to me, I look like a dweeb.
He's a monster.
He's huge. Huge. But
any good at basketball, Tyson Fury?
I doubt it. I feel like he found his home in boxing.
Yeah, right.
Like you see him running. He's not a good runner, but he could run all day. That's the thing. He's got some kind of God-given talent, man.
That sort of the traveler magic sort of thing going on.
He's got the drive, man. It's pretty incredible. Like we'd do 15 rounds of body sparring when I went and trained over with Joe and Tyson Fury for 6 months. we'd do 15 rounds of body sparring. So I'm the smallest guy there out of like 6 heavyweights.
Yeah.
And after 15 rounds, all of us are shattered. Tyson's the only one that looks like he could do another 15.
Really?
And again, he's got a bit more padding.
Yeah.
He's got a motor on him.
But nonetheless, he's you'd look at him and think he's the most out of shape guy. He's the only guy that could have done another 15. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So do you spend a bit?
My organs are like turning inside my rib cage. You know?
Do you spend a bit of time in Morecambe then? Is that where you went to train with him?
Yeah, I did.
How was that?
That was awesome. It was very cool. It was an eye opener. I learned how to fight. I didn't learn a hell of a lot. I learned technical aspects of the sport, but I kind of transitioned my own mentality from, in the amateur boxing, I felt like a competitor. I felt like I was competing. When I went over there and I sparred with some really, really tough guys over there, I feel like I learned how to fight. Like you need to be able to fight. It's not a competition anymore. You're not trying to outpoint the other guy. You're trying to learn how to break your guy down and
kill him,
defeat him.
And because that mentality moves. No, but that's the thing. It must change because you're saying when you're an amateur, like you're saying you're a competitor, but when
you don't have to hurt him.
Like that's right. It's about points, and at the end of it, we had a headgear because it's kind of like com games, it's very looks very technical.
They got rid of the headgear,
they did?
But nonetheless, the gloves, you've got about, I reckon, about 6 or 7 centimeters of padding at the front of your glove. In the pro game, your gloves are made out of horsehair. So horsehair
really
bends and molds around your fist. It's designed to protect your hand, not your opponent. So, you get a lot more hurt. Pro boxing. You've got dehydration. You've got cuts. You've got a lot more impact. You've got a lot more time to take impact as well. So completely different game. And I didn't really appreciate it until I went over and trained with the likes of the Furies.
Yeah, right. And they taught you, hey, you're in the ring to basically knock the fuck out of the guy.
These guys,
right.
It's the hurt business.
Yeah, totally. I watched The Fury is at home with the Furies.
Yeah.
Still one of my favourite programs.
Great doco.
Of him jogging on the waterfront there at Morecambe, and then him looking down the barrel of the camera and him going, I've made so much fucking money. I've got too much money. I don't even know what to do with. Why would you want to live anywhere else? And it panned back, and there was just like 2 kilometres of mud flats and just like the shittest seaside town in the world. But he was so fucking stoked to be there.
Yeah,
it was just hard not to vibe off his energy, even via everything was so positive. He seemed like a real dude.
No, he had like a Ferrari parked in his driveway, and he's like, I can't even fit in that car. Like, I'm 6'9".
I've seen him pull up in it. He offered, it's the black one.
Yeah.
He asked me if I wanted to take it for a spin. I was like, I do not trust myself driving.
Oh, just get sideways. Send it into a parked car.
Yeah. He did look way too big for it coming out of it though.
Yeah. Speaking of living in strange places, you're living in some Queensland town, like an hour out of Brisbane.
Gatton, Queensland. Yeah, it's got a population of about 8,000.
Right.
And it's kind of the borderline when you start heading into like the middle of Australia. It's like you start seeing cowboys and whatnot, like cowboys with the belt buckle, the cowboy hat, the cleats. It's awesome. It's pretty cool.
And they fly helicopters like Troy Dan. You know Troy Dan?
No. I haven't seen many helicopters. There is an army base out there. They do some pretty wicked stuff in the jets out there. But
why? What is it called? Gatton.
Yeah, Gatton.
Yeah. Why? Are there a lot of boxers out there? What's going on?
So on my way back from Morecambe, I was on my way to Melbourne for a fight on the Devin Haney George Kambosos undercard.
Yeah.
And I needed a coach for 4 weeks leading up to the bout. And so Dave Higgins from Duco lined me up with a coach, Noel Thornberry, who's my coach today.
Yeah.
And I turned up at the airport. Noel had 24 hours notice. I was on the plane when he got the call. Oh, by the way, David's coming over now.
Classic Higgins.
This is like still during COVID time. So I'm trying to fill out a form of where I'm going to be staying. Like, where will you be residing? And I was like, I found a random hotel in like a nearby area. I wasn't sure if I was training in Brisbane or where. I turned up and say, g'day Noel. Met his son Cass, and we just drove out into the country. I was like, so where are we going? Like some
you ever seen the movie U-Turn?
Wolf Creek, something like that. Eh?
Yeah.
But so we're driving out there, and we're driving into Gatton, and I'm saying, like, this is beautiful. Like the Lockyer Valley is a beautiful place. And he thought I was taking the piss the whole time, but I love it out there. It's like
I sort of feel like you're taking the piss now.
No. I tell you what, you see, every sunset post I put on my Instagram, Gatton, baby. It's Gatton. It's a beautiful landscape. I've got everything I need there. I'm dating Noel's daughter now, so I've got to be on my best behavior.
Yes. Yeah.
And I am.
That's worked out. That's worked out well.
It's worked out really well. It's worked out really well. And with I'm a part-time caretaker. I do the mowing. I do the whippersnipping. I do
nice.
I call it whippersnipping now. Weed whacking.
Weed whacking.
Yeah.
They call it
Gurneying. I do the gurneying. You know what gurneying is?
What's gurneying?
It's water blasting.
Hey.
And then grab a drink out of your esky afterwards.
Grab my thongs,
You're a convert.
Yeah. Oh, man.
This is his long ploy. He's like, I'm going to get him over here. I'm going to shack him up with my daughter. He's going to fly for Australia.
Yeah. No, I love it out there. There's I've got my chickens. I've got my garden. It's like a very, very simple lifestyle, and it's something that I think I've always been longing for.
Yeah.
And you don't realize what you. I didn't realize I needed it until I had it, and now now big cities overwhelm me, you know.
Yeah,
being around too many people for too long overwhelms me, you know. And I've got everything I need in a small country town. We drive into Brisbane twice a week for sparring. That's all I need, you know. I've got wide open roads to run with fresh, clean air. A few brown snakes I've been dodging on the roads. Yeah. The brown snakes they've killed a few of Noel's dogs. And we've seen a few around the apartments, kind of thing. So it's pretty sketchy, but I love it. Like I just need to start wearing shoes, wearing shoes in the backyard sometimes because us Kiwis, you know, we walk around barefoot.
Oh, bro,
I'm
so
turning over
much
logs. I keep forgetting that they've got like redbacks like everywhere. Like, they've got they've got every deadly spider in the world is in Australia.
I used to live over in Australia for a bit. When I first went over there, we were playing backyard cricket, and I hit the ball under the house. I was like, I'll go and get it. Went to crawl under it. Someone grabbed me by my ankles, like, no.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
And then one day I walked into our shed. There was a redback spider in the corner of the thing. I freaked out, so I ran back out, come back with a can of fly spray, just dosed the whole thing. And I count that as a victory over an animal that could have killed me. I went one-on-one
with some fly spray.
I went one-on-one with an animal that could have killed me, and I killed it.
There's a $70,000 fine for killing a brown snake.
Is it?
Something silly like that. It's illegal to kill brown snakes, but they'll kill your dog, they'll kill your children.
Do they get
bizarre.
fined? No.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but
it's bullshit.
We've discussed that quite a bit, haven't we? About which animal do you think you could defeat?
Oh yes, this is one of my.
I love this game. This is one of my favorite games.
Oh really? Same here. I've spent so much time thinking about this. So I reckon the rules are you're one-on-one. You're basically in UFC kit.
UFC cage. Yeah.
And then, depending on the size of the animal, it might need
sitting
to be
up on my seat now.
Scaled up or
my
down.
Shit.
Yeah. So all right, let's start with something that's very similar to a human. What about like a kangaroo? Like obviously you're a boxer. This is their sort of forte, boxing. Do you reckon you could take a kangaroo?
I could take any kangaroo, I think.
Yeah.
Put me in front of any kangaroo. You just can't let them grab hold of you.
Yes.
They just can't grab hold of you.
Because then they'll kick the shit out of you, eh?
Yeah. They'll rip your guts out.
Yeah, because they get up on the old
you know what a cassowary is?
Yes.
Oh, fuck that.
They scare the piss out of me.
So they range between 40 and 80 kilos. So imagine
80?
An 80 kilo dinosaur.
So you got a
cruiserweight
bird.
Yeah. You got a cruiserweight bird. They're prehistoric. They made it through the meteor strike or whatever.
Yeah.
They're tough, right? They're tough.
They are, but
could you take a 40 kilo cassowary?
40, yes. Now it would fuck me up. It would scratch me in a bit. But
you can't. But this is a fight to death.
You haven't seen one in person, have you?
I have, yeah. And they make a noise it's like quite a deep noise. It sort of rattles your chest a little bit. But 40 kilo.
80.
I'm not saying
try 80.
Nah.
80.
Where's the crossover?
80's a problem. 80's a problem.
There's going to have to be a weigh-in. There's going to have to be a weigh-in.
But again, tiny little heads. You know, if I can get to the head, I reckon I can take it out.
Okay, so what are you going to do to the head? How are you going to take?
You snap it?
It's the neck. If I can just get hold of the neck, yeah, and then
it's a spinning back fist, dude.
And then I'm like,
no, you can't get your arms around it because it's already got his talons in you,
true.
man. It's got to be a spinning back fist. I think I've thought about this.
Or maybe I get the elbows going. No, but
too
again,
short,
I'm too close.
Too short. Yeah, you got to keep your distance.
You don't think you could jab that thing to?
Nah, jab its beak. It's dinosaur beak. There's no way, man.
I'm not saying I'm getting out of this thing like unscathed. Yeah, like it's going to fuck me up. But I do think that I'd walk out with my hand raised at the end of it. I think I've had a theory that I reckon I could take out a giraffe.
Oh.
Hear me out. It's because giraffes have to eat so often that it's going to have to take a nap before I am, is my theory.
No, have you seen when they fight? Have you seen when they draw their necks up and then smack each other? That would clean fucking take your clock
legs
off.
out. Clean your legs out for sure.
That's right. I'm going to have to stay mobile for the first sort of 12 hours.
Hold on. No. Have you seen them kill lions? They stomp on them. They stomp on them. So you think a deer does the same to a dog?
Yes.
Yeah.
A giraffe does it to a lion.
You're dreaming.
What are we doing? What are we doing?
I think.
So I was thinking the same. I was still thinking the neck.
Yeah, because
I was still thinking about the neck. If I can grab onto his neck, I think if you can get your arms around it, you might be okay. But how long can you hold onto his neck?
But how do you get up there?
No, it comes down.
You've got to time it as it swings down, right? You got to time it.
You guys are crazy.
And then
you're dreaming, man. No one's beating a giraffe.
Nah.
Well, so
A baby one that's just been born, I reckon I could clock that, like real wobbly, and then just take it down.
But my theory was it's eventually going to get tired before I am. That's when it kneels down, and now I'm rear naked choking.
I like how you think. You think you're fitter than a giraffe?
They live in like the savannah. They're out in the heat every day.
They would go all day. Like after 12 hours, you're hungry. You're hungrier than the giraffe.
Even lions don't even mess with them.
Nah, but they don't have the mentality that I do. That's the difference. I think any monkey taller than like knee height, I'm done. Monkeys are just too strong.
Yeah, you don't want an orangutan. They'll just clobber you, wouldn't they?
Yeah. Not a Maine Coon. You know what a Maine Coon is?
Oh, the cat?
Big cat. I've cat sat for one of them before, and they're scary, man.
I suppose there's got those. What are those ones at the zoo? The slightly larger, the serval.
Yeah.
You take one of those on?
Nah, I've been like, have you ever had your cat just freak out and attack you for no reason? Like, try times that by like 4. Yeah. I reckon cats are
put their claws in you.
Yeah,
and like it all goes to your head.
Yeah. So largest animal, you reckon? Probably a kangaroo.
Oh, geez, I reckon a wallaby for me. I don't reckon I'd be able to take a kangaroo.
Kangaroos get pretty big. I haven't seen one of the big ones in the
the ones with the chests and the abs.
I haven't seen one of them yet. We get 5 foot kangaroos where we live.
Oh, okay,
like all over the shop.
They get up to like 7 feet though.
That's pretty big.
My missus works with animals, and she used to work at this private zoo sort of thing. I helped her feed one day, and I was in this little trench. A giraffe put its head over the top, was eating out of the bucket in this hand. Then an ostrich comes walking up the thing towards me, and I was freaking out. I was like, fuck, there's an ostrich coming. She goes, if you're scared, put your hand above your head, and it'll think that you're taller than it, and it'll back down. So now I'm standing here. There's a giraffe eating out of my left arm.
Kidding.
My right hand's above my head, and I'm like, ah. And the ostrich just walked straight up to me and started eating out of the same bucket as well. And
don't you put your head in the sand? Isn't that what they do when they're scared?
I walked right
put your little ostrich head in the sand, I reckon.
I said to the missus, it's not working. She goes, oh, yeah, no, it doesn't work. I thought I was taking the piss.
Hey, is it worth us mentioning we don't want to fight these animals?
Oh, no, yeah. It's all hypothetical.
Before you get cancelled.
Well, before a kangaroo hears this and then comes into the studio.
Well, the other question...
They seem pretty intelligent.
The other question that we spent a long time talking about over beers is you're in the ring. You're in a ring. It's a fight to the death, okay? A fight for survival. And look, we're not saying we endorse this, but I've got kids. There is thousands of kids in the crowd, and they're coming at you 5 at a time.
Yep.
5 at a time, and it's fight to the death.
How many waves?
Yeah, they're coming in waves. How many waves can you survive in that ring? And they're not there to just wrestle. They're there to kill you. They want to...
Are these Polynesian kids? Because Polynesians get big, young. We've got our Alex Leopi Jr. is on my undercard. He's 18 years old. I saw him fighting at 15, and he's an absolute monster. I saw him hitting the pads, and I was like... I actually know. I've seen him at 6 years old. I'll send you this video. I'll send you this video of him hitting the pads at 6 years old. He still hits harder than I do today.
Yeah, okay.
So against them,
how old are these kids?
Okay, they're 5 years old.
Okay.
So I know this sounds terrible.
All different
ages. It's a representation of the demographic of New Zealand. So there'll be all sorts coming at you.
Yeah.
So I reckon I could do. The other question is,
how many waves could you
can you hear them? Do they cry? Like, that was another thing, because if they're crying, because they'll come at you like they want to kill you, and you'll knock the first one out, and he'll be crying for his mum.
Can we say these are like zombie kids?
Yeah.
Can we say they're not?
Yeah. They don't make a noise when you hit them.
They're probably crying the whole time.
I know. This is the discussion we have, and then the cacophony that would happen after 6 or 7 waves have been put down. Right. would just overwhelm you, and then you'd just go, I'm out, I'm done, take me.
So those zombie kids.
You guys are being cancelled. This is your last podcast, guys. I'm sorry.
I don't know if you've listened to some of our stuff, David.
Oh, okay. Is this okay? This is okay.
It's definitely not okay.
It's not okay.
I just got my first bead of sweat coming through my shirt right now.
Well, you don't have to answer it. I said I would go. I said I reckon I could do 5, and then I'd be too puffed, and then they would just gulliver me. You know, when they'd be.
How many kids have you got?
I got 3.
Okay.
And they can probably take me.
Yeah. So,
as is.
Okay.
But if it's fights for survival, and I did talk, can I have a cricket bat or any weapons? And we said no, it's just pure.
It's just knuckles.
Because if we have a cricket bat, I'm backing myself just to probably up to a dozen waves. But if it's just hand to hand, I'm 5 or 6, and then I'm done.
It's basically a beep
5
test.
or 6 waves.
Oh, so that's
Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. So but it's every 2 minutes. So 5 come, bang, bang, bang.
Imagine taking out a whole classroom of kids.
Zombie kids. Zombie kids, David. Zombie kids. They're not human. They're not human. What about you, Manaia? How many waves do you have? Every 2 minutes, 5 more come.
It's a fitness test, man. I did a bloody boxing fitness class on Wednesday, and I could barely get through a bag that didn't fight back. So I reckon
It's tough,
3 maybe?
3.
How many kids are in each
five,
wave?
5-year-olds are coming at you every 2 minutes.
5-year-olds.
The thing is,
5-year-olds every 2 minutes.
I flatlined that first 5-year-old. I reckon the other 4 are backing off.
No, they're zombies. They're zombie kids.
Oh, right.
We've discussed this. They for them it's survival as well. They're going to the death.
Nah, like 3, and then I'm blowing real hard.
And then they're coming from behind. They're on your back.
Yeah. Do I get a rest in between?
I think as soon as you get taken down, it gets tough.
It's over.
As soon as you start hitting the deck.
Yeah.
Yeah, my gas tank's probably not where I need it to be taking on waves.
And knowing 5-year-olds, they'll come straight for your nuts as well. Straight for the
Perfect
balls.
height.
Yeah, straight for the balls.
All right, I think we should depart from this subject of conversation before. It's probably too late, to be fair.
Crikey.
I wanted to. Did you I actually asked you this before? But you haven't seen the video. But Israel Adesanya was filmed on K Road. He's standing outside of one of his cars, flash ass supercar, and this dude's
McLaren looks fucking mean.
Yeah, it does.
Beautiful,
Matte black. And there's a guy just in his grill, basically like asking to fight him, and I was like. He posted a statement afterwards. He's like, it's actually ridiculous that I can't go down to the dairy after sparring and get a pie, like without someone accosting me. Have you ever had anyone like come up to you and like want to punch on, or
You'd be surprised, man. I've made no enemies. I call myself the nice guy.
Yeah,
because I make every effort to avert situations like that. For Izzy, it's probably a little bit different because he uses his mouth a lot more than I do, and for that reason, he's so marketable, you know.
Yeah.
But you'll get dickheads like that that'll come and like you said, accost you for just who you are, just to make a name out of you, you know. I've never been in a street fight. I've never been in a fight outside of the ring. And I that's a winning record as far as I'm concerned, if you know what I mean. So I've never actually, I'm really quick to shut those down, but I could fight though. You know what I mean? I think it's not to say I wouldn't win the fight. You know what I mean?
I think it's madness. The guy you watched the video. A guy would have got his head knocked off his shoulders. What's the fucking what? I don't understand it.
I've been in camp with Izzy, and I was in his camp as his main striking partner before he fought Anderson Silva. Now Anderson Silva was the reason was one of the leading reasons why I started combat sports in the first place. I thought he was awesome. I used to cut holes in my socks and do Muay Thai on the bag and stuff. Amazing athlete. I was in camp with Izzy as his striking partner, and so we would spar, only boxing obviously.
Yeah.
But he would every so often
kick you in the head.
Close, very, very close. You know, so he would let me know that it's a different range in the UFC and mixed martial arts. So he would give me a little calf kick, like a little tap, every so often, just to let me know. I'm helping him spar, and so obviously I need to be a little bit more aware of what he needs from me.
Yeah, so you're doing like an Anderson Silva impersonation sort of thing.
So that was the first time I actually switched predominantly to southpaw because I'm an orthodox fighter. I'm right-handed. Basically, using my left hand essentially. It was quite difficult, but now I do it really well because of camps like that. So I would be sparring him, real competitive and stuff, but every so often he would remind me that he's got like 6 to 8 different weapons that he could use against me, you know?
Yeah.
So I'd back him into the corner, double jab, right hand, whether I landed it or not, he'd pull me into a Muay Thai clinch, and I'd see my life flash before my eyes. His knee would come up this close to my face, and it was beautiful, but I'd come back up like I'd just seen a ghost, you know? I'd be like, that's a street fight, you know? That's how dangerous that guy is in a street fight. That bloke, I haven't seen the video yet, but that bloke has no business starting a fight with a guy like Izzy. Izzy is salt of the earth, man. He's one of the nicest guys you'll meet, and just disappointing that people have that kind of mentality around here, or like it's that weird tall poppy syndrome thing we talk about. Crabs in a bucket, they all want to drag everyone else down, and it's like why don't we pay more attention to our winners? We got the most gold medals at the Olympics per capita.
Yeah, I know. It's unreal, man.
Like we've got everything going for us. We just need to keep recognizing those athletes because they're leading the charge. He's one of the most famous UFC fighters in history.
Yeah,
because he's got that mouth and because he speaks his mind, because he's that fluent in the ring and out of the ring, that we should be applauding him and we should be building him up, you know. But like people are so quick to kind of tear those guys down because it's like, you don't represent me. You represent our country, man.
Yeah,
that's what we're doing.
Looking at that, I don't think people are going to be judging Izzy after that. I think they'll be going to go, and that guy is the biggest penis to walk the planet. Like you know what I mean? Having a look at it, because I was like, I actually felt embarrassed for the guy watching it. I was like, oh, dude, what a fuck. Come on, man.
Because he wouldn't have got anything out of Izzy, would he?
Nah. Izzy just told him to walk away. Pulled the fingers at him, got in his car and walked off.
Yeah, got into his $800,000 supercar
and told him to go get in his busted piece of shit car. Because there's no win there for Izzy. Like, if he sparks this dude out, then what? I don't know. It doesn't, Anyway, would you ever consider UFC, MMA?
I used to, and
really?
Not anymore.
Right up until you saw Izzy's knee.
Yeah, right until I saw my life flash before my eyes. It was like, this is like my, it was like a past life I've lived, and I was like, it wasn't for me then, it's not for me now.
Yeah. So looking at this, so you're on the road to the title now, that's the whole thing. Joseph Parker's come on as a promoter. What does that mean for Joseph? Like, what is he actually doing as a promoter? And
it's a career after boxing. A lot of boxers don't have anything in mind once they finish boxing. Tyson Fury's one of those guys that needs boxing, you know, boxing for his sanity, you know. So Joseph's a smart guy, and he's planting seeds for down the line, and I think he's going to be a great promoter. So I'm blessed to have him in my corner because he's at the height of his career right now. You know, he's come up, he dipped back down, and he's back on the rise. You know,
Big
time. Amazing timing for me to have the likes of him in my corner and backing me. Duco Events, Thornbury Promotions, my coach Noel Thornberry. We've got Manuka Doctor on board as the naming rights sponsor. We've got DAZN. This is the first card in New Zealand that DAZN is backing, and they've agreed to a multi-fight deal where we can keep putting these on. DAZN.com. It's
Can you explain it a bit more?
It's a download. It's an app. So that they've gone digital. Like, you can get it in any country. There's a subscription, or there are pay-per-views. Like, you can. It's for our generation. You go on your phone and you download it and you start watching.
So it's is it
DAZN?
Yeah, DAZN.
Yep.
Download that.
Yep. And that will be the only place you can watch this fight. And we've got a wicked undercard. We've got 4 heavyweight bouts on before mine.
See Liam Messon's in there?
Liam Messon's in there. He was one of my childhood heroes, and I ended up training with him at 14 years old. I met him down at it was Ringside Gym at the time.
Yeah.
He was my first mentor. What a great example of a guy, you know. He kind of directed me in the right direction. I know there are a lot of rugby players that might not leave great accounts of themselves.
That's
Liam was the right guy for me, like, because he always pointed me in the right direction. I remember going, I was in his corner for his first corporate fight. I think it was Wendell Sailor, I think.
Yeah.
I was in his corner, and I remember he had per diems, and he said, "All right, Dave, I'm going to teach you how to eat. I'm going to give you all my per diems. On the only condition is you have to spend it on food." And so I'm like a 50-kilo kid, like like how do we do that? And he took me around to all his different spots, and man, we ate.
All right,
I've doubled my weight since then. So
so KFC was one of them.
No, very healthy, all healthy. Like
what are we talking? Like steaks and
sushi and stuff. All the Japanese cuisine and like Asian fusion. Beautiful, man.
And then who's he fighting? Is it Jordan Simi?
Jordan Simi, yeah.
He's a podcaster.
I don't know much about him. Was he an influencer?
Yeah, well, yeah, like
or is he just
influencer.
Is he just talking shit? Is that
basically? Yeah, he fought Justin Hodges on one of the cards over there. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So
look, I heard that's going to be a good fight.
Yeah,
I heard he can bang too.
I heard he can bang. I mean, he beat Hodges, I think.
Yeah.
There was some big storyline about how he wanted to beat Justin Hodges to prove to his missus that he could get her back.
And
he did it, but then she's given him the flick, so now he's back.
Man,
now he's back in the ring. But yeah, 4 absolute bangers. Are there still tickets available to the card itself? Can you still get along?
I think it's black tie corporate event, and I think there's only 2 tables left or something like that. So 90 tables, 88 sold, which is unreal.
Yeah.
So ideally, we'll get another card before the end of the year, which I'm hoping will be in a stadium. You know, like so the. So everyone else can get in there. Yeah, Spark Arena, I think 13,000 there would be amazing. But yeah, live on DAZN, that's the place to watch it.
Yeah, beaut. All right, well, I think we better knock this thing on the head before you get cancelled.
I got one more. I've got one more thing. Every guest that comes on here, we do 22 and 2, which is 22 quick-fire questions straight off in 2 minutes.
I'm really bad at these, eh? No, I have a logical mind, you see.
Yeah, it's just one or the other.
Go with your heart, there's no judgment.
Go with your heart, okay? So... David Nyika, this is your 22 and 2. Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Sex or drugs?
Sex.
Hard or fast?
Fast.
Would you rather wake up nude next to Mike Tyson or George Foreman?
George Foreman.
Thai or Indian?
Thai.
Eat out or dine in?
Dine in.
Freddie Mercury or Elton John?
Freddie Mercury.
Wet or dry?
Dry.
Dogs or cats?
Dogs.
Trevor Kelsey or Taylor Swift?
I don't really know either of them. I'll say Taylor Swift. I know Taylor Swift. Floyd
Mayweather, Conor McGregor, and Evander Holyfield. Who's got the biggest downstairs?
Evander Holyfield.
What boxing legend would you bring back from the dead?
Man, Sugar Ray Robinson.
If the ceremony to bring back Sugar Ray Robinson resulted in you talking like Mike Tyson for the rest of your life, would you still do it?
Done.
Have you ever fired a gun?
Yes.
Have you ever killed anything bigger than an insect?
No.
Who is the most famous person you've met?
Lennox Lewis, maybe?
Oh, yeah. Tyson Fury's pretty famous.
Tyson Fury, yeah.
Is he?
Yeah, is he? Yeah.
If you had a reoccurring dream that a snowman killed himself with a hairdryer, would you be concerned?
Say that again.
If you had a reoccurring nightmare that a snowman killed himself with a hairdryer, would you be concerned?
No, I think that would be hilarious.
If you were offered a knighthood, would you accept it?
No.
What age do you think people say they've had a fall instead of falling down?
65.
Have you ever screamed, "Google me, motherfucker"?
No.
If you were to get a statue made of yourself, what pose would it be, and where would you put the statue?
Oh man.
An example of this is we asked Tim Southey, the cricketer Tim Southey, what he'd do, and he said he would be riding a stallion without it rearing up with its genitalia facing the door, and he'd put it on Daniel Vettori's front lawn.
What? No way. Mine would be like it'd be Rafiki holding up Simba only would be me holding my chicken. Me holding my chicken. Yeah.
Nice. No, well, that's the 2022 and 2.
Cool.
David Nyika, thanks very much.
Those are wicked. Cheers, guys.
Thanks for joining us, mate, and go well next weekend. We'll be there ringside to cheer you on. So
mate.
See you then.
No, you're a great you're a great New Zealander, and thanks for coming on.
Cheers, man. Thank you, guys.
No worries.
You've been listening to the ACC's Agenda podcast, brought to you by Export Ultra. For more episodes, like and follow on iHeartradio or wherever you get your podcasts.